Howdy all, howdy, howdy, howdy. Apologies for the rough and ready look. Busy day editing, busy day posting, busy day, just busy. Right, let's just make sure stream's working as it should do. Hopefully everything is working. It is, it's all members, the monetization is off, which means you won't have to be pestered by those blooming adverts. So everything is exactly how it should be, within reason. Coolio. Right, whoa, busy day. How is everyone? How are we all? So it's going to be Mizuno Pro's possibly going to be taking up most of the chats, etc. That's the 2, 4, 5, and of course this one I'm editing at the moment, the 2, 4, 3. Now, Min, hello Min, hope you're well. Good evening, Min. Good review, thank you. Which one? Done 2 today. Well, one was an overview of the whole entire range where it was just a case of this is the technology inside here, and also this is how it kind of works into a green and how it feels. I didn't do all the forgiveness side of things, if not the video would have been massive. But the 245, yes, that was my normal reviews that I do, back to forgiveness testing and all that lot. Yeah, busy day, and so it's been an interesting one because trying to keep an eye on the traffic as well, although difficult early doors when it comes to YouTube, because the analytics isn't generally speaking available for a little while. So I'm not quite sure how many how much traffic is coming from exterior sites, we'll call it. But I'll find out one day. In the next 3 days, I reckon. Can I find out anything from here at the moment? Still trying to keep an eye on my subscriber counts and just see how that's working going forward. I'll keep it on there we go. Right, so I'll leave it up to you guys to say anything that you'd want to talk about. I will obviously intersperse with my own bits and pieces. I will also have my own little niggles and gripes and stuff that I've got sort of like brewing in the background. Steve's in the house. Hello, Steve. Good evening, Jay. Enjoyed today's reviews. Good. I'm glad you did. Would you believe it? Over the last, well, I come back from Valencia with the wife on the 2nd. I then rushed around to collect the Mizuno heads, the DNA heads, from a local account that very, very kindly allowed me to borrow, and I'm still borrowing them, the kit, so I can actually do these compare reviews as such, well, the overview and then also the individual ones. Now, was it a day after? I think it was a day after I started feeling a bit weird, and then yeah, over the last sort of 3 days or so, 4 days. 3 days definitely. Yeah, I haven't been greatly well. Now this is weird because generally speaking in the past I've always been someone who is within reason relatively bulletproof, so I don't normally get on well. However, over the last, well, you guys know, I've only literally just got after over the last weird thing. Doesn't matter, there you go, that's what happens with life, I guess. That's a little kind of, you don't really need to know my health woes. Absolutely fine, just a case of I had a headache and I ate. I'm fine now. I just got like a little weird cough, so if I have to do a little cough, I'll cover the mic. Barry Mason's out. Evening. Where's the ninja today? Perry will be typing back. So yes, so the Mizuno Pro 243 will be out. I'm thinking not tomorrow, it may be out the day after. The reason being is because of ping. We have got coming the 10K, the Ping G430 Max 10K driver review. That's coming tomorrow at 4 o'clock. She's learning more ways to kill me. Yeah, I think that's the wife. The wife has spent the weekend over at her parents because it was her sister's 50th, and unfortunately I was a little bit unwell, and also I had so much to do here. at work. It was just, no, just leave me be. I've got a, yeah. And yeah, she come back today. Been a busy time, hectic time. Not very happy. So I'll yep, stay out of the way of that one then. So if she knew how Kung Fu or Taekwondo or whatever it is, I can't remember, then yeah. But lucky enough she doesn't. No, she's normally very, very good. It's just that she's struggling a little bit. She's, I think she's a bit under the weather herself, and also she's tired and yeah. Right, so 243 and 221 and 243 and 241 and 245. I'm still going to do that. I don't know how many times I'm going to say 22 instead of 24. There is going to be an interesting thing with blending. So there is so much that I need to say within reviews that I physically can't, because over the passage of time, anything that goes well into the 20 minutes, closer to half an hour, you do get a massive tail off, especially at the back end of it. You get a tail off of people watching, because it's just too long. A 30-minute, 35-minute long review of a golf club for the masses is just too long. So unfortunately, I have to leave certain bits out, and even certain bits out which I feel are crucial. It's just difficult. So I do want to say, when it comes to people that are thinking about blending, and obviously this is the members only, etc., and we will talk about other bits and pieces as well. But I do want to talk about the blending. So don't let me forget we're talking about the blending of them, because there are some potential problems with them. Excuse me. Now, the 10K, the Ping 10K driver coming tomorrow. I treat myself to a MotoCaddy M5 Connect. She wanted to swap her M3 for it, yeah, hence learning more, yeah. It's, the M5 Connect's a great little beastie. That will work wonders, that thing. MotoCaddy are a great manufacturer, and obviously, generally speaking, you've got the two powerhouses, especially in the UK anyway. You've got the MotoCaddy and you've got PowerCaddy. It's no different to if you're a Reds or a Blues when it comes to football or soccer for the American people that say it as soccer, because they've got their own version of football where you carry it, although it's football. Doesn't matter, only wind you up. So it's one of those ones where I've always gone MotoCaddy personally. I've never gone over to PowerCaddy, even though PowerCaddy make basically just exactly the same stuff, name it slightly differently, have slightly different ways of doing things, but effectively they're all trying to corner the market within their own certain brackets of models, and they all do the same thing. So, but I've always been a MotoCaddy personally as well, so you've made a good choice. I even got a MotoCaddy rangefinder. Now, I've always had Bushnells until obviously having this thing, just so I happen to have the box sitting here. Look at that, see? Never throw anything away. But yeah, I was always Bushnell before, but for the reason why I switched over to this is only one reason and one reason only. Bushnell are arguably the best. That's an arguably thing, but they're best on the basis of what's the best wedge in the world? People turn around and say, it's a Vokey. What's the best ball in golf? It's easy, that's Pro V1, Titleist Pro V1. Okay, so what's the best putter? Scotty Cameron. People have this idea of what's the best thing, and it's not necessarily the best, it's just what's the best marketed. And when we're talking about the rangefinder world, then Bushnell, are you going to Bushnell it? That kind of idea. People are already saying, rather than using a rangefinder, hey, you might remind even everyone, hello. They say you're going to Bushnell that, rather than saying you've got a rangefinder. Or in the UK at least, you've got the Hoover versus vacuum. We're saying, are you going to Hoover? Well, Hoover's an actual brand of vacuum cleaner, not, yeah, so MotoCaddy are great. What I find great with MotoCaddy, and I haven't really had that much experience with PowerCaddy to say that there is a distinct difference between the two, but I will say this, MotoCaddy's customer service is brilliant. Even when I was working in more of a kind of retail environment, I wasn't really working, but when I had something to do with it, and I was getting involved with customers a little bit, because I try and help everybody. When I had to speak to the likes of MotoCaddy, really good. like ridiculously good of how eager they are to please, want to help the customer. They would basically just replace something. I mean, for an example, this is an example of one. Customer had one of these when it comes to just stop, well, it didn't say stop working, it was becoming intermittent. So press the button, nothing happened, press the button, nothing happened, press the button, oh, it jolt, there we go, we've got a yardage, and then nothing, then work again and stuff like that. But because these are non-replaceable, they're like field replaceable units, what you want, FRUs or whatever they used to be called, in computing terms, effectively you can't really, there's no point in breaking them all apart, work out what's gone wrong and replace them. They're just a case, we'll just replace the whole thing. They just replace the whole thing, which is crazy. Excuse me for the cough. You're not hearing that in reviews because I'm cutting it all out. You might find actually that, Jay, your reviews are a bit more kind of like dynamic than usual. They're kind of like flicking between camera angles and zooming in and zooming out and then going. Because I've got a cough. I'm very happy with my MotorCaddy M7 remote trolley. Blooming good trolley, that. Really is a blooming good trolley. Have not had the use for customer service in the first 2 years. Like, no, to be fair, when it comes to those things, there's only a few things that goes wrong really with the M7 remotes, or even M5s or anything else like that. And you can actually replace a lot of the bits and pieces yourself. You don't have to take it to a, well, there's service centres, but then we weren't, when I was at the Bury Golf Range full-time, it was a case of, we weren't a service sector, but you use them for so many times, you get used to them so much, you just send the parts here. If not, the poor customer, I mean, okay, it's nothing to do with me, but again, that's me trying to help everyone again. I'm thinking, well, I've got a half hour later on that I was actually going to use for having something to eat, but hey-ho, I mean, yeah, well, I've got fat stores, I'll survive. And just bring it in. It's going to take me 15 minutes to sort of unscrew that, pull that. I've got the bit anyway. It's been, and then just so much easier to help other people than it is to sort of like shop them off to somewhere else and say, yeah, you got to drive 50 miles to the nearest service centre. And because they're not going to do it there and then, you've got to leave it there and then come back another. Oh, come on. I'll be contacting MotorCaddy to see if her M3 Pro can be upgraded by, to GPS by changing the circuit board and handle. Yes, I think it can. I think the GPS circuitry, the device as such, is housed within that. So it's a case of change that, and it will all be possibly done. I'm not quite sure if they will. This is the only thing. I'm pretty certain it can, but I don't know if they will. I mean, let me know. Just, yeah, keep everyone apprised on that, because that's really interesting on that one. But no, Neil's has got the MotorCaddy M7 remote, and that is like a properly good trolley, and it is a very, very good trolley. Had one to test and stuff, and it's great with the remote control. You just scared quite a few people just having the remote control trolley sitting there doing nothing, and suddenly it disappears off. It scares the crap out of people. Brilliant. Tickles my crazy sense of humour. So, yeah, so we've got 10K coming tomorrow. Very interesting driver. Initially, when I first heard that, I mean, again, this is going to be an extension of what you're going to hear tomorrow anyway at 4 o'clock. But I was worried that they were going to do or shoot themselves in the foot again, because Ping have done that in the past with the G400 and the G400 Max. Now, when that first came out, had the 2-year life cycle, MotorCaddy Rolls-Royce Niels, yeah, that is a little bit. When you've got the G400, when it was first released within its 2-year life cycle, within 6 months or so, they brought out the Max. And unfortunately, that kind of shat upon, without swearing, you kind of get the idea, it kind of shat upon the 400. Now, the 400 was a good driver. The problem is it was never going to be as stable as the G400 Max. The Max still, the G400 Max still, is one of the best drivers that Ping have ever made. And so the people that bought a G400 were thinking, oh, whoa, hang on a minute. I've just spent £400 or whatever, £350 I think it was at that point. Yeah, something like that. And it was like, whoa, hang on a minute. Could have been slightly cheaper. whatever, doesn't matter. However much money they spent, and then 6 months later, something else which is effectively just taken over it completely has come out, same price, but better. And this is the problem. So they had to rebrand it as a bit more of a player's option and stuff, but it still peed off quite a few customers that had already bought the 400. So of course, bring the G430 out, that was last year, and it's halfway through its life cycle. And so this is the issue. You're gonna then bring out a 10K, hang on a minute, well, the Max I thought was the Max. And yeah, so what they've done, actually the 10K isn't the replacement for the Max. It actually sits in between the Max and the LS Tech, and it does it really, really well. So I'm quite impressed about that one. I definitely am. Works really, if that's the head I'd go to. Before I'd go to the LS Tech, but with the Max there, you've got the perfect blend between a lower spin profile, higher launch, and also plenty of forgiveness. Really is very, very good driver. I mean, right, properly good. Looking forward to getting the Max from Mizuno, get all those drivers here as well, because I want to see how well that does as well, putting up against the likes of a 10K. But yeah, right. Are we getting on? Oh, stagnant. Okay, fair enough. That's no worries. I'll keep an eye on that one as time goes on. Where's my thing? Oh, just have to put Alt Tabbing's great load of fun, isn't it? Right. What we got to bear in mind, it's funny with the remote electric trolley, people start joking, and after having gone a few rounds, they want to know where it was purchased, yeah, and then suddenly they show up with their own, oh yeah, I know. That's funny, 100% right on that one. That's hilarious. It is an interesting one, that. People find things are gimmicks until they see it, and it's not. It is such a great tool. Originally, when I first, really, come on, just, you haven't even got to push it, you just got to hold on to it. Off it goes. But there are certain things with a remote control trolley which you can take your putter and literally just drive it around the staked areas or cornered off areas where trolleys and carts should go, and you just drive it round until the next tee. You've got your putter in it. It is just blooming brilliant having a remote control, and people like poo-poo it, but it's not. It's a great idea, and if you can afford one, because this is the thing, you can afford one, because they're quite expensive. Brilliant, really is. So well done, Neil. Done right on that one, absolutely. Mr. Mumble, hello. How big of a difference is MP20 HMB to 245? Like the 245 is much smaller. It's a somewhat smaller, but not massively smaller. Excuse me, that's driving me insane. Tickly, that's what it is. YTD. So it is smaller, but it's not massively smaller. All of these things. I couldn't say this in the live stream. When I say the live stream, it wasn't actually a live stream. So the chat between Dave, Chris, and I, where obviously Mizuno put that up on their own social media side of things. Before that conversation, I had access to obviously all the technical data of the new Mizuno Pro irons. The problem I had when they were talking about how more compact this and more compact that, I'm like, guys, it's tiny. You're saying it's more compact. It is more compact, but it's like, okay, your wife has gone for a haircut. Her hair is down to her backside, and when they cut like half a centimetre off the bottom, it's still down to her backside. Like, come on. You've shaved the smallest little bit off, and I think it was the 243 is like 1.2 millimeters or something smaller in head length. Well, the whole blooming thing is that long anyway. You're not going to notice 1.2 millimeters. Yeah. And then on the, I think it was the Pro 245, the gap's even smaller, and oh, yeah. So unfortunately, I feel it could be a little bit more of an own goal, that one for Mizuno, because there are a lot of people out there, a lot of vocal people out there that say, oh, I don't want them smaller. Why do we have to keep on? I feel that the message needs to have changed to have less aggressive words, because obviously saying you're going to make something more compact, it makes your brain feel that it's shrinking down massively. When in actual fact it's not. It is slimming down but even that's an aggressive term considering how much it's moved. But yeah, but the HMB and 245, not much difference really. There is a difference, yeah, the top lines and the sole thicknesses and blade lengths, there will be a combined overall change. Bear in mind, we are talking about MP20, 21, and then also 2.4. So there is a jump, which is a sensible jump for this. I wouldn't necessarily say, unless you are a heavy low strike hitter, that you could go from you should go from a 2.25 to a 2.45. I'll continue saying 2.2s rather than 2.4s constantly. But yeah, so that's the whole idea of it. I would definitely say that it's worth testing if you're going from HMB, MP20 HMB to a 2.45. The upgrade in tungsten alone is just impressive. Perry says, I can put up the WAS being taken for having electric trolley in the knowledge I won't be knackered by the 14th. Yeah, well, there is that. I still carry. Yeah. Actually, there was a study done. Statistically, over the period of 18 holes, and I couldn't believe this. I'm thinking, well, I want to see the data from this. That people that carry don't substantially burn many more calories than the person who pulls and pushes and walks around and stuff like that. I thought that was like mental. I thought, hang on a minute, I'm picking up, putting down, picking up, putting down, carrying extra load around however many miles I'm walking. If I'm playing golf by myself, I'll walk a certain distance. If I'm playing golf with my friend that I sometimes do play golf with, but I just don't play golf enough with him. I need to do more. Obviously, he's a little bit more wayward than me when it comes to his control of his golf ball, so I end up walking a bit further. And that's with all my stuff on the back. And yeah, so I'm thinking, why do I do that? But there you go. But yeah, so the 10K's coming tomorrow. Then we've got the Blueprint, possibly Blueprint S, which is a great golf club. Really is one of my favourites from Ping ever, really is. As in, who cares about Blueprint T? Blueprint T is coming very, very soon. It's the tour, it's tiny, it doesn't matter, no one cares about it, no one's going to really use it. So I may not even bother reviewing it. It's just a case of the S is just brilliant. Replace the i59 and it is just great. Feels good, looks good. Forgiving, really, actually pretty forgiving considering it's not a game improvement iron at all. And it blends really, really well with i230. Also blends really, really well with Blueprint T. Who cares about Blueprint T? No one's going to be buying or playing Blueprint T. It's like the old Blueprints. Not many people at all played the old Blueprints. I think Tony Finau still has got one or two or something in his bag. Again, anyone who knows. Stand corrected me, please, me, thank you. Right. So, the gapping between 243, 245, 241, that kind of saga. Right. It's not saga, but I'm detecting at the moment, and this is for all people that are thinking to get fitting here, and this is the thing, I need to do another video on this for many different people, and Mr. My Open Mind, Robert Hineo, you need to be listening to this one. Jay, regarding the MP245 series, what is the likely role the 245 3 iron, fly high, 3 hybrid, and a 7 or a 5 wood? That's an interesting one. Obviously, the 3 iron's going to be as flat as heck. The fly high is going to be flat as heck, and the 3 hybrid is going to be better, and the 7 and 5 wood will be much more preferable. We'd have to. I'm getting. So obviously, you're popping over very soon in the next 11 days or so, is it? There you go. And we're gonna have a fit. Not we're gonna have a fit, as in you know what I mean. We're gonna have a custom fit, and I will have my 5 iron. Excuse me. I'll have my 5 iron, my 7 iron, and my 9 iron. 245, 5 iron, 7 iron, 9 iron, 243, 5 iron, 7 iron, 9 iron, 241. I'll also be having a fly height as well. And I don't know what it is, if it's 2, 3 or 4, I can't remember. I was speaking to Mizuno quite some time ago. I said there's pointless you sending me 2 irons as such, as in a 2 iron, because who cares about a 2 iron? But because Mizuno want to make a statement, I think they are sending again the 2 iron. Fair enough. but I'll have that, and also be having the max samples as well. They are due imminently, but they've been due imminently for a long time, and Mizuno have been poor, shall we say, in getting them here. Well, not getting them here, getting them to everybody. There's a reason, guys, why if you go on YouTube, there is an absolute distinct lack of content from us, me, YouTubers. I haven't even seen Ian's. Now, anyone who's, Niels is on the case, has TXG done one? Has Ian Fraser done one? They normally are on, oh, here we go. Niels, you'll be so much faster this than me. Come on, there we go. It's Club Champion now, sorry, not TXG. Why do they keep on changing stuff? Oh, so they're doing Club Champion Media. Oh, crap. So, well, it doesn't matter because this is obviously, this is why, it's an interesting seed. I looked earlier on and wondered, my subscribers has been going like this all day, which is good, obviously, of course it will be. But then when I look back over, there was a little flat line, and it's relatively flat line, and it's because at the moment they are live streaming themselves. There you go, one of those things, not a problem. So have they done anything on there? 3 days ago, no. So what they're doing now, they're doing some form of live. So at the moment, no one has done any form of YouTube content on the new MIZUNO Pro series. That's because they haven't had any. It's only because I went and sought after these, the fitting heads that I knew that accounts had, that I managed to go get some so I could actually get some content done regardless of how unwell I felt. And I managed to get something out there for you guys to watch, because everyone was going crazy about wanting to know what's going on with these MIZUNO Pro. And again, I was going crazy with Mizuno for not getting stuff out there. But again, there were powers in play and still powers in play that stopped things from happening. Bit frustrating, but that's what it is. Jay, regarding the, I'm playing in a 2 or 3 club wind most days. Okay, we'll think about that one. We can always do, if we're going to be hitting, say, the 2 hybrid, the 2 fly high, and we think about a 3-1 or something like that, we can always, I mean, okay, the 2 is going to be too flat. We can always see when you hit a 2, the 3 is going to be higher. So that's not difficult. And of course, if you're looking about how far the 2 fly high would go, and you're swinging at a certain speed, take off a couple of miles an hour for the extra club head, you know, it's fairly easy to do. Visual's in the house. Hello, Visual. Mr. Mumble says, only one I saw is Matt. Yes, I saw Matt yeah, who used to be with TXG. Yes, I saw his, well, I didn't see it. I saw a thumbnail because I was just curious to see how many people actually managed to get content out because of the problems with samples. Now, it should only be in the UK, in Europe. This is the thing. So America, there is no excuse at all for people being late. And I was looking at some of the stuff, and they actually released it early because, well, again, I suppose when it comes to people that aren't officially down the media route, they can just get away with what they want within reason. They can release a bit early, same day early release, but yeah. But so the only thing I would say with the 2-4 series, you've got 2-4-5, lower spinning, definitely lower spinning. Can I get some information up on the screen here? I don't know if I can. If I can get the information up on the screen, I will definitely share it with you, because there is some very interesting, oh crap, where have I put it? No, it's still on my OS drive. There's the reason why. Hence the reason why. I can't say hence the reason why. Right, so if I go into the numbers folder, okay, so right, I can do this. Okie dokie. Right, let's see if I can get this one. Yeah, let's do this way. So it's image 1, so we'll just go A1. I love it when, yeah, this is the problem about not having someone here. If I had someone here, I could quite easily get them to do this in the background whilst I am doing what I'm doing, rather than me effectively having to do everything all in one go. Doesn't matter. So where's that gone at the top? Good, right, so there we go. You talk amongst yourselves. I'm doing, I'm trying to add, so I can show you the differences between the 243 and 245, but they have some interesting spin rate differences. And there we go. And then next one, because that's all 243. And I've done actually both of them, A3, at 3 different speeds. That took longer than you guys will really probably appreciate, but it did. 245 numbers and ball compare. Good. And then one more, and I can then talk to you about this, because there is a distinct difference between the two, which people need to be aware of. And of course, Robert, when we're talking about this going forward, we'll have to see if this exhibits the same or very similar pattern when you and I have our fitting. So we just have to be aware of it, because it might change how things work. Right, so very, very quickly, shouldn't have named May 1 and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. Right, so this is the information that I'm going to pop on the screen there. That's the information, hi. This is the information that you haven't seen yet, because obviously this is the video that hasn't come out yet. And so this is the benefit of you being members. You get to see some of the behind the scenes stuff. Now, there's your 3 different speeds. I'll put the clubhead speeds very quickly up on there so you can see there. So we look at 70.5, 80.5, 90.4. Very, very similar to that of what I've literally just done today. Dynamic loft was within 0.3 of a degree on all of them. And the only difference there is a 1.1 degree difference in the angle of attack. Rest of the other bits and pieces was relatively fine. Now, 1.1 degrees would not make it'd make a small bit of difference, but tiny. So I want to just show you the spin rates on those things. Yeah, so you've got 4.2, 4.194, 5,000, and then 6,000. So within reason, you got sort of 4.2, 5,000, 5.9, whatever it be. You got 1,000, 1,000, and 800. So within reason, 1,000 each time. You must have heard that. That was a loud noise. Something's coming through. Now, is it 26 degrees? I would redo that one, but there we go. It's at 26 degrees. Now, with the new 245, I'll put the clubhead speeds quickly up there. So it was 90.5, 80.4, 70.5, or something like that. The new 245 goes 90.1, 80.2, 70.5. So within a very small tenths of a mile an hour, very, very similar. If you look at the dynamic loft delivery, you are looking at the lowest 25.5. If I pop this one up on the screen and take that one away. Oh, no, I haven't took it away yet. There we go. You'll be able to see. There's not that much difference, you see? There's not that much difference. Marginal. We're talking half a degree in loft. Worst case scenario, let's have a look. 0.8. 0.8 of a degree in loft. That is the most that you're going to get. And obviously trying to loft match and everything else like that. Excuse me. But let's look at the spin rates. 4.9, 5.45, 4. So I know they're going to be flicked around the other way, so I apologise for that straight away. So when you see this one, it goes slow. The original 2.4.3, which you haven't seen yet, goes slow, medium, fast. This goes fast, medium, slow. Just the way just the order which way I've done the data sets. It makes no difference. But if you look at that, so the slowest is 4.2, against, no, wrong one. See, this is seamless, isn't it? 4,000, yeah, so within reason, you've got a couple of hundred RPM there. Yeah, agree, that's fine. That's no worries. We've got then, I can do it here. We've got the medium, because I've got two screens. I've got the medium over here, that's a 4977 against the medium on here is 4522. So there's 500 RPM less on the 245 at the same speed. And then when it goes to the Pro 245, full speed, it's 4965, as you can see. But on the Pro 243, it's 59. So what we're seeing is that it goes 4.2, 5,000, 6,000. On your screen, you can see there, it goes 4, 5, 4, 4.5, 5. 500, 500, 500, where on the 243, it basically goes 1,000, as in 1,000, 1,000. The spin gaps are double the, not the expected, but compared to that of 245. At the same loft, and the club head deliveries are so very, very close that it'll be interesting to see. So the 245 is, with that tungsten, very low down the head. We are getting a certain amount of vertical gearing. You saw that the lofts, even though I've matched them within reason, they should do, I'm slightly de-lofted with the 245. It is obviously 2 degree less lofted head, but within very small amounts, I managed to capture them both within very small margins. Launching really well, does launch really well, but also spins quite low as well. Absolutely fine if you've got a medium or fast swing speed. If you are a slow swing speed player at 70 miles an hour and you've got that low spin, that's just falling out of the air. You do not get so much of that with the 243. The 243 has a slightly higher spin profile. You haven't got that tungsten low in the face. You've got the micro slot, but again, the center of gravity compared is massively higher in the 243 compared to that of the 245. So you're going to get more spin on the 243. So we just have to be a bit more aware of that when it comes to you guys doing your fittings, etc. Test it. Make sure you test both golf clubs and the 7-iron. If we're talking about doing your fittings on sale on the 243, and then right at the end of the session when you talk about your set composition and stuff like that, and you say, well, I really think you should be looking at potentially going into like 245s at this golf club and stuff like that. Test the 245 and the 7-iron head to see what the difference in spin rate is, because if there is a real marked down spin rate adjustment from where your baseline 7.7 iron as such with 243 to 245, you are going to have to think possibly about doing things slightly differently, especially if you're slightly slower on the swing speed, because you are potentially going to get to a point of where you run out of spin. You don't know that in the fitting because of the fact everything's done by 7-iron. It has to be done that way anyway, because even if you did have 4 and 5 iron and stuff like that, because you ain't got the DNA heads to put all the shafts, because you have to have all different length shafts as well, it would be ridiculous. And just having a certain amount of demo golf clubs, it still won't tick the boxes needed. You need them in that set, that custom fit setup. Neil said, second swing golf also has something up, don't see much else on them. Minley said, I wonder weaker lofts in 245 could increase spin. Yes, it will do, and height at medium swing speed, it will do. In decreased distance, obviously, as well. But again, I'm a great fan of functionality over raw. Everyone can make a golf ball go a long way. It's just a case of if you want it to stop when it finally gets to its destination. If you don't want it to stop, well then, let it run. This time of year, obviously, it's soft. So going into a green, most golf balls are going to stop this time of year, unless it's frozen, where it's not going to stop on any green because it's just going to bounce and bugger off out the back. But most of the time it's softer, so this time of year it will stop on any green. Even sub 40 degrees will potentially stop this time of year because it's so soft. But yeah, I could honestly see how weakening the lofts of the 245s won't be a bad idea. They have increased the bounce numbers, but in the 245 it's only in the weaker lofts, not in the stronger lofts. So again, we are talking, Mizuno do not run a very strong bounce angle. They do not. Even with the 243, they have got increased bounce angles throughout the entire set. But why have they got that? Well, you guys, let's see if I can do this right without sort of jabbing myself in the face or something. You can't see it. You can see it. So you see that there's the shiny bit, but then you've got that beveled bit at the back, that bit there, yeah? That gives you an idea of that's how big the sole is, but that beveled bit at the back is a part of the sole. It's still a part of the sole. It's just the fact that because it's beveled, it will not interact with the ground, but it's still there as a part of pulling the center of gravity away from the head, yeah? So if you were to take that off, it would basically look like a 241. It would look very similar to that, yeah? But the 241 has not got the beveled back piece. So there's a big difference between effective sole and visible sole. The visible sole on this is bigger than the effective sole. The effective sole is smaller, hence why they have had the need to increase the bounce, because it's that classic thing. I've got my phone here as a perfect example of an illustration. You'll love it. Right, let's just imagine, obviously that's the plane, that's the ground plane, 0, yeah? Even though obviously very difficult to me to do that on the Yukon ground plane 0. Right, this now is the golf club. This is you've got the loft and then you've got the sole, yeah? Now, just imagine my sole is that thick and the fact that I've got a bounce angle, I'll say probably easier for you to do it that way, yeah? That's the bounce angle, yep? So we've got the loft going up this way and stuff, but that's the bounce angle. Well, that say might be 10 degrees, call it 10 degrees. That's a different effective bounce to if I get that same 10 degrees, hang on, whichever way it was, yeah, you know what I mean, and go that way. Now I've made my sole bigger, game improvement iron, something like that, sole's wider. Well, that same 10 degrees has a much, much, much bigger effective bounce than the 10 degrees going that way. Make sense? So when you reduce the effective sole, and you still want the effective bounce to work, you have to increase the bounce number. That's why we've got that. Be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to testing the 243 a lot more because I really like it. I had a shocking, this will be a bit of fun. The video, which I'm editing now, I've still got to do the numbers video. I haven't actually done the numbers. I've done all the numbers, but I haven't actually done the sitting in front of a camera having a little chat. Oh, it took me so many takes. I could not get my words out. I mean, it must have took me, only the introduction part of the video must have took me about 20 minutes of constantly redoing over that because I wasn't well anyway, and it was just getting so frustrating because I couldn't get my words out. Doesn't matter. But the 243 is going to be an interesting thing because it really sits very, very close to the 241. I'm really hoping that Mizuno have all the work that they've done with the lofts and also the transition of technology in 243, that they please everybody. There was a very small minority of the 223 that said that the lofts gaps weren't ideal because the distance gaps between irons weren't quite right. Now, that was much more for people which had a inconsistent D-loft number, as in a case of people that delivered a certain amount of D-loft with their 6-iron was different to the amount of D-loft that they deliver shaft lean with their pitching wedge and stuff. So inevitably what you're going to find loft gaps reduce because they're stronger with their pitching wedge than their 9-iron, and then loft gaps gets bigger and stuff, and they want. Well, that's not down to the technology, that's down to the individuals. The problem is, you will find that there's a lot of good players that do that. And so, anyway, different video, different time. So, Min says, I wonder, oh, we've done that already. Perry says, M3, M5 Connect control box are the same, so should hopefully just be circuit board and handle top change. In that case, then you are absolutely right. You might be in for a winner. Will they do that? I'm not quite sure. They might have to. Well, will they do that? Will they do that? Will they do that? It'd be brilliant if they did. I'm not quite sure they would. Through everything's got to go for a retail. How would they? Because how would you pay for the upgrade? It's a difficult one. From a retail perspective, how would you pay for the upgrade? You could go to a retail store and give them money for the difference between what you've got and to what you want. But they'd have to then obviously make up their own product as such to be able to sell it and give you a receipt for it. And then how would then MotorCaddy would then have to charge them on a specific? It's going to be an interesting one. I'm just thinking, going, what would have to have happened a certain amount of time ago. But yeah, the 2.4 series, it'd be interesting to see how it is accepted and liked among everybody. It's probably just a spare part with a spare part price. Yes, but so if everything's done on warranty, there's no cost. So it doesn't matter how much that cost is. The problem you've got is that, generally speaking, as opposed to something like a seat or an accessory, they've already got barcodes, they've already got that whole system set up within the EPOS systems of retail environments. When it comes to these specific things, like control boxes are the same, but you're talking about circuit boards and stuff like that. Handle top chains, exactly the same. That is a warranty replace item, which doesn't normally have barcodes and EPOS related information. So there would need to be some background work done from MotorCaddy and also the retailer in question to be able to then process that payment, because MotorCaddy will not take a process payment from an end user. So it has to go through some form of MotorCaddy account. Really interesting. Keep us all apprised, because I'm quite interested on that one. That's the kind of stuff when I was involved more so with, well, when I was kind of like earwigging sometimes when it comes to retail, that's the kind of thing I would like to get involved in, because I just enjoy fixing things, and not fixing things, obviously that's what their job is to do, but you know what I mean. Customer's got a problem, someone's got a problem, don't care, let's fix it. I quite like that. Right. So the interesting thing, have they finished their live stream? You know you're getting old when you can't do this with your phone. Videos live, are they still going? I had the volume on loud, apologies. I just want to see if the TXG have, so they're finished. Yes, that makes sense. The hilarious thing is, finished their live stream. My subscribers was gone bump, 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 bump. So of course, again, more traffic from other places. On the end of their video, or whether traffic gets put to my channel, because again, there's not many other channels that have got anything on there, and of course people subscribe. That's the great thing of having, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Something beeped again. I like how this thing beeps. But there you go. Right, so let's get back over to here, and we can view our activity, see if we are on there. Good, that's all good on there. Everyone's winning. We are good. I haven't lost anything as I was digressing. Right. What would anyone else like to talk about? Talk about the fact that I have still not had my dark speed driver yet to test and review. Bear in mind the embargo is on the 11th. I've got the iron, that's already been done, and I've already, have I uploaded that one yet? No, I haven't. I was going to upload it this evening, but I ran out of time between wanting to upload it and then also doing this, and I can't share upload bandwidth because, well, again, I'd run out. So it would be very blocky and not very nice experience for you guys if I got to share it with my uploading of the dark speed iron review. So I'm looking forward to getting the dark speed driver. Also, they said they're going to send an Aerojet driver as well, so I can compare. Still have not received anything from Wilson yet, even though their embargo is tomorrow, I think it is. And from what I understand, I'm receiving them the same time as everybody else is, and they have not come from America. So it does seem that it's not just Mizuno that are useless when it comes to 2024 samples, it's Wilson as well. So we will see some content from the American people. So TXG or Club Champion, whatever they're called nowadays, that you'll see something from them, because obviously the samples from the UK or to the UK and Europe come from America. So yeah, interesting one, but there you go. Excuse me. Right, so so before I went to Valencia, I've just hurt, you say, well, I had just hurt myself. A light went out of my car, and because I'm one of these people that I don't do everything myself, it's sort of a case of, yeah, that's not hard. Well, my car's a little bit difficult. You've got to take out the whole head assembly, the light assembly out. You can't just put your hand down and stuff like that, you know, the whole blooming thing's got to come out. And yeah, it's another one of those examples of where human skin is not quite as tough as a metal panel. And so, yeah, I just sliced a little bit out of my finger, and at the moment it's now starting to irritate. It's well on the way of healing, but then there you go. MP iron blending. This is the thing I was just talking about, Min, when I was saying about the 243 being a much higher spin profile. And so 245 is 243 is not the issue. It's 245 it's the issue. The 245 is a lower spinning head. Just want to see if I can. Not sure if that's working or not. Trying to up the thing. Well, I won't bore you. So the 245 being a lower spinning head is the one that's the problem, because it's then putting out of sync with the 241, 243. It's not a problem, you just have to be aware of it if it's an issue. When I say that, you've got to test it. So within your custom fittings, don't just hit the 243, 241, and if you're at any point thinking about you're going to be transitioning to 245 for any reason, make sure you hit it, because it is a lower spinning head. Now, this is going to be different for every single individual. So that just because I'm finding a distinct difference in spin rate jumps between 245 at different speeds. So this is the interesting thing with speeds. But then go 243 and the spin rate jumps are double. And so there might be more of a problem when it comes to lower spin and high spin, and what spin you need to do, what spin you need to be able to change to at what point, so you don't get massive distance gaps. As long as you know what they are, fine. You've got 2 degrees loft difference between the 245 and the 243. Hit them both with the same shaft in the 7 iron and see what spin rate you get. If your spin rate is nominally, according to loft, remember 2 degrees of loft, if it's not far off that, absolutely fine. If there is a disparity, let's say you've got 2,000 RPM difference between the 243 and the 245, you're going to have to think about that, because if you're thinking, well, I'm spinning the 7 iron at 7,000 or 6.6 or whatever it would be with a 7 iron of the 243, and then I'll go 6 iron, but then yeah, 4 and 5 I'm going to need that. Well, if you say 6 iron, let's say you're going to be spinning the 6 iron, let's say about 5.6 or so, but you are nearly 2,000 RPM lower in a 7 iron, going 6.6, you're at 4.6, 4.7. Well, then you take another 1,000 or so off that. I mean, that's 3.7. You then go to a 4 iron, 2.7. You get anything trapped between the face and the ball, even with a 5 iron at 3.7, that's going to jump into the 2,000s. It's going to be like a bloody driver. So you do have to be aware of it. Parry, did you get the Paradigm Smoke to review? No jailbreak and subjective colour choice, but cheaper. I haven't as yet done them. I've got so much to do, and it's not going to be possibly until the back end of Jan, maybe the middle to back end of Jan, possibly the same very, very similar time that the MIZUNO Pro stuff is going to be coming, like released. So I like the fact that things are cheaper. Things need to change. I've been saying this to manufacturers for a long time. Things need to change. There is a distinct need, not for the constantly going on about the elitist golfers and stuff like that. No, for golf needs to carry on, and if golf needs to carry on, it needs to carry on in a way where it doesn't just price people out the market. And this is where we're getting to. I do not know how much this new 10K from Ping is going to cost. I ain't got a clue. I do not know how much this new Blueprint S is going to be from Ping. Haven't got a clue. When it comes to the 245s, I have an idea how much these are going to cost. And it's a feckin' lot. Didn't swear. But it is. It's a lot of money. And there's a reason I don't put price into the review. One, because price changes constantly anyway. So if you're watching, if I was to give the retail price now, pre-release, you are not going to find discounts on their 245. Absolutely will not. You'll be paying basically retail price. 6 months time, not even 6 months time, as soon as you get release, the websites, the online market is going to have fun galore, and they're going to start chopping money off and trying to undercut someone else and stuff like that. Before you know it, you're going to have a distinct decrease. Okay, it's still going to be expensive, but this is the thing with price. You never do know how much it's going to be. So unless we are talking about a direct-to-consumer manufacturer where price, being honest, is one of the major pointers for the direction of why to choose, then price is important to talk about. Every other premium manufacturer, I mean, they're all fighting over the same bunch of people, and they're all as expensive as each other, some more, some less, but they're within a very small bracket. You cannot compare the likes of Callaway, Mizuno, Titleist, TaylorMade, Ping, Srixon, anyone like that, Cobra, you can't, Wilson, you can't compare them to a DTC. The DTCs are just cheaper, but there are reasons for that. But yeah, so I will be reviewing the Paradigm Smoke very, very, very soon. I am not entirely happy with the color scheme. I think the pandemic had the effect on golf prices. The cycling industry went into silly production because of the sudden recreational interest, and post-pandemic, they can't sell them 15K for a bike. Yep, you're not wrong there. There was no different to golf, and this is the thing. The hilarious thing with golf is the fact that it was very similar. There was an absolute boom, and I'm finding that as the older I get anyway, that I just sit back and laugh at people, because I know golf clubs have done this. Golf clubs, and I will draw some experience from local clubs around me and a certain club around me as well, struggled for money badly to a point where it nearly went bust. Even to a point when they had to request loans from members to keep the business going for the interim, and then which they did. We got through that, and then we went through the pandemic bits. I mean, we're talking for a passive 20 years or so. And the pandemic hit, everyone wanted to play golf outside, all this lot. The booming golf happened, absolute booming golf happened. Then golf clubs were inundated with people that wanted to spend, I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not into near £1,000 plus per year to play, so much so that we had now waiting lists, and the golf clubs were just sitting there counting money, thinking, oh, the days. We're not thinking at any point, hang on a minute, this gravy train is not gonna last. We need to be, so, Carl, it's fine, don't worry, you're excused. No, it's fine. Glad to have you along. The gravy train was going to finish, and it does, and it did. It has It absolutely has on the most finished. Everyone went back to work. The whole idea of all the furlough and all that lot finished. Everyone had to go back to work. No one's got time for golf. And so with every kind of habit, if you change a habit and you do it enough times, that stops becoming the habit. And especially if you're not in the habitual routine of playing golf every week, or golf twice a week, or at least playing golf a week or practicing twice a week, or whatever it be, you can very quickly get out of the habit of doing it. And so, yeah, you've now got golf clubs, courses, struggling again, and having to make that money back from their members by increasing subsidies, yearly subsidies, up by stupid amounts, and praying that their current membership will continue to pay. It screams of poor business acumen, I want to say. Poor planning, poor understanding for the environment around you. To not have a thought in your head to say, look, this is all well and good, but this is great, but we need to prepare for when it's not great, because it won't stay like this. All good things come to an end, and it's just things. So I think with the golf clubs, anything which does exactly the same as what's current, I don't care about better. I care about, is there something that gets released? I don't know, that's my USB. I play with things. Before I was playing with a, anyone know what one of these are? There you go. But I know what it is. It's just a bit of fun. Hey, okay, so Carl's got Wago. Don't say anything more, Carl. Right, so I'm trusting other people, don't Google it. What does it do? Or what? Oh, that's a new one, Niels. I like that. Power line combiner. I like it. I've never heard it called a power line combiner. I never heard it called a power line, actually, to be fair. The only time I've heard it called power line would be, you know, when you try to put internet signals through your house electrics. But yeah, so I play with stuff, and because I randomly have loads of things, like here we go, I have one of these, and don't take the pee. Yeah, you know, for people that have seen my hairline, yeah, it's very Alamark Crossfield. This is a hair clip. Well, Jay, what do you need a hair clip for? Well, actually, I'm glad you asked, because I have got one of my cameras, one of my small little GoPro kind of style cameras, reusable inline connector. Yes, effectively. Is it a 413? 221 413 or something like that? That's bad when you get your eyes like this one out. It's a 221, and then it's something like a 413, something like that. Anyway, yes, it's basically to connect. You've got a wire goes in, and it's no different to the connector blocks that you can get, like put 2 screw wires on the other side. Effectively, you can have 3 wires which are now linked together. So these I commonly have used because I did a lot of my electrics on my own house, my own. Okay, it hasn't blown up yet, and no one's died, so I give myself love buzzes constantly when I was doing it. But for like ceiling roses, when you're replacing the ceiling roses down, I want to use all these things, because these are great. These are wonderful little things, especially when you put them in a box. It's a nice sealed little unit, nice and safe. So I think it's actually a registered connector now, for the point of view of proper, you know, you've got to do it by the rules, regs and stuff. But yeah, good little thing that. I think my house is made up mostly of Wago or Vargo blocks, not of Wago blocks. They're Vargo blocks because it's German manufacturer apparently. So anyway, back to my hair clip, of which I obviously don't really need. Although at the moment I could probably hair clip my beard. I just need a shave, that's all it is. So, Kyle says, why do you know the number? I've used thousands but never remember the number. J and numbers, i.e. square root of, yeah, man, that was... Anyone who didn't see last week's, was it last week's? I can't remember now. I can't remember dates though, that's why I'm terrible. I posed a question to someone, just to everyone. So like, if anyone got any questions, any technical questions whatsoever that you think I can't answer, give them a go. I love it. And then Kyle, the smart ass that Kyle thought he was, went, what was the square root? Was it 7,392? Was that what it was? Was it 7,392 off the top of my head? Yes, it was. It's exactly 7,392. And I was kind of, if you rewind it, you can see me, I was going like that. And I'm thinking 87, 86. And it was that. Yeah. I'm one of these irritating individuals that has this capacity to guess at certain things from time to time, and it's just ridiculously close. I think the reason is, and all it is, it's not the fact that I'm a genius, or that I do add a certain amount of common sense into my guesses, and so they are educated guesses, or at least guesses with a certain amount of sense behind them. Hey, Ted's in the house. Hello, Ted. Hope you're well. Nice to have you along. Quality, yeah. And so yeah, I just do that, and I've done it so many times. It's crazy. I'll do things like, what was the last one? We were in Valencia, and then the wife was doing some form of quiz or something or other, and she asked me when was the first time Sweden or something won the Eurovision Song Contest, and I'm like, what? It's got to be 74. Like, kind of, yeah. 1974. Just, you've got to say it with a certain amount of cockiness, because it just makes you sound, it was just, at the end of the day, because you're going to be wrong thousands of times, but you pass them off. No one remembers that. What you do when you're right, you make a massive thing of it. So, no. Wow, your brain is just wired weirdly. Some places with Wago, it is actually as wired with these. No, my brain works in a very, very unique way. It's quite interesting. I thought you meant 74 AD, yeah, that's true. But yeah, God, I don't do all that kind of stuff. Singing and, yeah, dear me. Karaoke, maybe. Yeah, I don't mind a bit of karaoke. I'm terrible at it, but who cares? But yeah, so I do like numbers anyway. So on the plane, I'll tell you what I was doing. I was on the plane when I was on the way to, there you go, Niels, you'll understand. Oh, you can't see that, can you? There you go. You, Niels, you remember that? I was on the plane going over, and I was doing, what was I doing? I was writing numbers down. Was it 659 times 384 and stuff like that? And I just wrote it down, but then it was just a case of, right, work out in your head. It's just to keep my brain going. That's all it is. All the time I try and keep my brain going, because I'm not old at all. But I've seen, as time goes on, you age, and one of the first things to go, okay, when you're after 40, your waistline's one of them, so I'm trying to sort of keep on that on, because if not, you get, yeah, it doesn't take long before it goes boom, like that, so keep on track, keep on track. And then, but then your body starts going a little bit as well, because you get off this chair and go, oh, dear me. But it's the mental side. If you don't use it, you lose it. That was what thing my dad has always said to me. And so when it comes to my mental side of things, I want to make sure that I'm as switched on, I'm as that kind of stuff interests me, the math side of things and all that. So I find it really quite good to keep my brain going. So anyway, the hair clip. Inside this little thing is a little SD card. However, I cannot get it out. I mean, that's so blooming ridiculous. So the only way I can get it in and out is by using a hair clip and just pressing it in to click, and then pressing it out, click. There you go. But that's why I use that. That's my little 3-year-old's. And she's got loads. She doesn't miss them, honestly. I haven't stole it. Well, I have stole it, I suppose, because it's not mine, but I'll give it back to her. So it's not stealing, is it? Stealing is theft. So dishonestly appropriating property belonging to another with the intention of permanently depriving. Well, I'm going to give it back to her. So I'm not going to permanently deprive her of it. And actually, I don't think she'd mind. So it's not dishonestly appropriated. It does belong to her. Anyway, enough about the points to prove when it comes to theft. Permanent borrowing, yes, that's what you call it. Permanently, yeah. I acquired it, but no. So well, I've got random things around here that I play with, like SD cards and stuff. I know I shouldn't play that one. I should go back in the GH5. But yes, so 7,392. That was probably one of the best ones for a while, Kyle. So thank you very much for that one. So yeah, now we know what all these are, the Fargo, Wago blocks. But yeah, I do remember some weird things. People's phone numbers, okay, off topic a little bit. And this all depends on how old you are. So people that are older than me, it's a little bit unfair to say, but for the people that are in their mid-40s, can you remember the registration numbers for every single car that you've had? I can. Fish. I can also remember my parents as well. I remember lots. Yeah, strange. Right, so we are getting seriously off topic. I don't know why. Well, it's a bit of fun anyway. That's the whole idea. Right, so we are going to be looking going forward. We've got the dark speed drivers still to come, as in still to come here, so I can actually test them. We've got the Wilson 3 clubs, the Blade, the CB, and the new Dynapower Forged to come, and then also review. We've got, I'm still trying to get hold of Cleveland because they're a pain in my backside, or Shricks and Cleveland. I don't know the registration of my car parked out in the drive right now. Oh, I can remember so many. Well, I haven't had that many cars though, because I'm not someone who really, I don't really care about cars too much. If we had this conversation, who did we have this conversation with? I think it was my in-laws, the wife's parents, and we're sort of like, if you won hundreds of millions of pounds or whatever, because we were talking about Euro millions, that's what we're talking about, Euro millions. Oh, that's really good. AO1B16234TM is the product code for the high-vis trousers I used to sell when I worked in an office at 16, and sad me knows all the rest. Do you really? Okay, we're now entered a different level of sadness, so listen to this one, guys. Right, so many moons ago, I worked for Boots the Chemist. Not in the shop, I worked in distribution centre, stock controller and stuff like that. So I was in control of the £5 to £7 million worth of all the boot stuff that people from, I don't know if it's an American thing, but definitely UK anyway. So the people in the UK, yeah, know that. And we had obviously stores. Everyone's got stores, retail stores, and they had numbers. And to this day, I still know all the numbers, to a point of where if someone says to me a certain place in and around where I live, in the counties around where I am, and there is a Boots store there, I'll be able to give you the store number. And that was from, well, 25 years ago, 20 to 25 years ago. I know. Human brains are weird. Ted, I am pretty certain there are going to be certain things that you could tell me which is stored in the back of your brain that you stored there decades ago, and people are thinking, Ted, you still remember that? So you are forgiven if you cannot remember the registration of your car. Neil says, blame the belly on the mic cables. It's been done by someone before. Yes, it has, me. Anyone who saw the video today, the first one, that's hilarious. Watch the second one, and I was a little bit more careful, shall we say, of where I stood. Where is that bloody thing? Oh, it's over there, isn't it? Yeah, it's on the floor at the moment. yeah, the cable. Ted is still looking for Bill. My wife remembers everything I've done. Right? Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I did see something funny actually. So there's two halves of a woman's brain. On the left side, there's nothing right, and on the right side, there's nothing left. I don't agree with it. I just obviously watched that on a very funny excerpt from something, and I just thought it was quite funny. I saw the humour in it. I could appreciate the humour in it. In no way am I saying at all that I agree with anything that was just said. But yeah, no. So I had an incident with a microphone bulge, should we call it? So the microphone that I have normally, obviously, this is I've just plugged it here. This normally goes in my pocket, and I've got a lavalier which obviously connects onto there. But it goes down my top and then underneath and up through my trouser loop and into my pocket. That kind of idea. That kind of idea. Jay quickly backpedaled. Well, yeah, you never know, do you? So people get a little bit frustrated when. So I've got a great sense of humour, as in I take the mickey out of everything, literally anything and everything, anyone and everything. I don't think there's very, very few subjects in life which is off bounds for humour. Excuse me. So I find humour in all random stuff, but I'm very inclusive, actually, as I take the mickey out of all different races. I'll take the mickey out of all different types of people. I'll take the mickey out of everyone and everything. But I am one of the most inclusive, understanding and objective people that everyone can know. It's frustrating and irritating for them because I don't judge anything. I celebrate the fact that there's difference between people. If we weren't different, life would be boring as heck. It's the way to be. Carl was saying, Perry, it's always the time you get home they remember, but still ask. I can't remember things that happened last week. Like the wife will say what we did last Christmas. What? I can't even remember what we did this Christmas. What? You got me that for birthday 2 years ago. Did I? I know you've got it. I can't remember how you got it, but did you like it? Yeah, I'm terrible. But then there's certain things I remember straight away. It's the difference. Ninja is back, so good evening for me. Barry, it's been great having you. Thank you very much. It's been nice having you on there. Hope Ninja done well. Blah, blah, blah. Reminds me of another little joke. It's actually an Asian guy said this, and it's actually quite fun. The fact that he's so Asian, his pronoun is Haya. Or Hiya, that's better. It's all in the delivery. And anyway, so Perry's had to scoot off. What's the time now? It's 20 past. We're not really talking much about golf and talking about much more about humour, which is a bit more fun, I suppose. And this is the beauty of doing the members stuff. But dark speed irons are ridiculously good and ridiculously nice for a game improvement iron. Those are definitely. Now I'm going to give them back. I'm not going to give the 7-iron back. I've got my golf clubs over there of the dark speed irons. I've already said to Sam, Sam from Cobra, that I'm happy to give him back the 6, 8 and pitching wedge, so he can give them to someone else to review. You might as well. I don't need them. They're going to sit there and just take up more room, and I've got too many golf clubs. If anything, I want more space. So I've actually said to him already, and I've had this, it was before Christmas, and excuse me, have them back. Give them to somebody else. Give them to someone else who wants a bite of the cherry on trying to review your equipment and get the word out there to someone else. Nothing's been collected. There you go. I'm keeping the 7-iron. I just went out and my registration is 743ZSZ, 743 Zulu Sierra Zulu. I'll forget as soon as the chat closes. I won't say what my one is at the moment, obviously for certain reasons, because I've had problems in the past with, I haven't said it, but yeah, I had problems on the phone. My phone number got out to the internet a number of years ago, and that was at the time when I wasn't as popular as I am now. And so if my phone number ever got out to the masses, flip sticks, it was bad enough then. I didn't know, and suddenly overnight I woke up, my phone was literally lit up like a Christmas tree with every single notification I never even thought I could have on there. With I don't know how many phone calls, without how many messages, how many WhatsApps, because obviously as soon as they've got your number, they can WhatsApp you and stuff like this. It was ridiculous, and so I had to change my number because somehow my mobile phone number got out onto YouTube. And so I've got to be very careful, obviously, with what I say, where certain things are, what my numbers are, and stuff like that. So people that do know me, they know that I'm very protective over my personal information. There's certain things, locations, numbers, and stuff like that, and that's because of prior situations. But yeah, I can remember, I've only ever had, how many cars have I had? So E648 MBD, that's my first car. E was 1988, it was a white Astra. Then I went from that to L306 NTW, which was a Mark I Mondeo. Yeah, so 1994 that was built. I could probably tell you the year I bought it, but I won't do that. We went from that to EG53WDU, which was a Renault Laguna Estate. Yeah, there you go. And then went from NL070WZ, which was a Mondeo, again, ST. And then from that to the car I have at the moment, of which I obviously won't say, just in case there are someone who's PNCing the car straight away. Yeah. Right. I think I can tell you every set of irons I've played for the last 10 days. If you can do that, that is an absolute well done, sir. Carl, I don't like my Cobra Mim tools. They only turned up last week. Oh no, really? Couldn't hit them, then found out they are 20 odd grams lighter per iron than my others. Modus 120s and the Cobra had KBS. No, because the swing rate will be different on them. Even though the static weight will be the same, the swing rate will be different. However, in your custom fit, you should have been able to easily select custom swing rate. Or at least said, look, in my new golf clubs coming, can you build them to fit this? Okay, no problem, give us your golf club here. What is it set to? Da, 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 da. No worries. That's the whole idea of that. My first car was a Fiat Tipo. No way! I can remember them, with a cable-tied bumper. I can probably remember a couple of them as well. Why not? The Modus 120 shaft is designed much differently than most shafts, so the balance point is different as well. It absolutely is. Very, very similar to that of a LZ, Project X LZ. So the LZ and the Modus Pro 120 is two basic shafts that, if you've got an individual who, after doing a swing DNA session, when I say session, I mean 3 swings, that plus I think only the XS 120 is actually 120. Yes, it is. It's a smaller. So when you'll find weight classes, they don't actually. Again, this is the whole bloody thing with shafts. It drives me insane. Is that there is nothing like standardization. It's not like saying, okay, we are going to make the S, the stiff, the marker for the weight class. So if we're going to call it a 120 stiff, or a 120, sorry, in the stiff it will be 120 grams, in the extra stiff it might be 122, 123, and then it will go down 3 grams or so as the bend profile gets a little bit weaker. No, sometimes everyone has a little bit of a fit. We go, well, we're going to make it into the regular, and other times we'll do the extra stiff, and so I think where people go wrong though is because there is so much of this, excuse me, because there's so much of this that people get so obsessed with, well, that's the weight I need. That's the, no, what people really need to come away from is the specifications of what that specific shaft is, especially if they don't know the bend profile intimately. They look at a certain weight class, they look at a certain stiffness, and they'll go straight away, well, the KBS 120 stiff, that's 120 grams, and it's stiff as well, that'll work on it. No, massively different. And so what people need to understand is not how heavy it is, not what the relative stiffness is. When I say relative, because it is relative, because not all manufacturers are even close when it comes to what they perceive as the same stiffness. So what bend profile do I require? That is the most important thing. What bend profile do I require? And then what other golf club, shaft, what other shaft is close to that bend profile, regardless, something just popped up on the screen there. Ted. Thank you, buddy. I'll chat to you later on. So, what do you need when it comes to bend profile, which is close to what you've got there? So in that case, you can then go to different bend profiles. You don't care what it's called. You don't care how heavy it is, because it's matching your bend profile. Your bend profile, as long as you've got something which matches your bend profile, the weight and stiffness is largely irrelevant, because you cannot have something 40 grams lighter than what you need in your bend profile and actually have in the same bend profile. It will be distinctly different. Let's get back over to that one. Carl said, got fitted for my Modus 120X, PXG Gen 6, swing weight D0, that's light. The Cobra's got fitted, dollar taper 120, swing weight D4, but the static weight was 7 iron. Yeah, no, so as balance point. So I wouldn't worry about it whatsoever. So this is why I never measure in any way. I never measure that at all. What is going on? I see if that's working, which I think it does. Let's do that. Let's see if it happens again. We'll see. I just saw an alert pop up on the screen. You probably saw the alert as well. It was just a case it's so small. So I've now made it bigger. Everyone likes a bigger alert. So I just want to see if it does come through again. I can see it. What was I talking about? Oh, no, I hate it when that happens. I got distracted. Yes, so don't worry about static. Always talk about bend profile and swing weight. So if you got your bend profile right, you can, in your case there, let's just imagine, I wouldn't say if you've got Modus 120X and you've got dollar taper 120s, obviously the Cobra's not fitted, I would have said, that's a fairly interestingly different shaft. Are you 100% certain that you need them? The dollar taper 120 is a very, very, very good shaft. Very, very good shaft. Now, excuse me, I'm not surprised because of the balance point of the shaft of the even the Modus 120X compared to a dollar taper 120 stiff, but you can go, if you want to if you pop the grip off, you can then butt weight it. That's what I would possibly do. Put a little plug at the butt. My irons are generally Project X LZ 5.5, 115, yeah. Good setup, again, no different, very, very similar to that of the Modus 120. It says first set, early 60s and early 70s Wilson Staff blades. belt, power belt, Australian blades, Dunlop Maxfire blades, Goldcraft. Oh, mate, I tell you, I love the drive. Please say you've kept it all. McGregor Iomatic driver and forward. See, proper golf clubs they are. But then in years ago, they've made proper golf clubs like that. The ones that you know absolutely sting your hands like you would not believe if you got it all wrong. Right, just looking at the time now. It's 8:30, so an hour and a half. Just want to. Everything's working how it should do. Yep, cool. Just want to make sure now. And flick that over here, cool. Goldcraft was bought by Titleist. Was it really? That's it. So you learn something new every day. But yeah, so Carl, I reckon you can get around that. See, if I was you, what I would do is I would butt weight it. I would get the grip of your 7-iron popped off and I would butt weight it. And then I would put the grip back on, test it, and see what the difference is, and there will be a difference. That's the good thing about counterbalancing a shaft. You can counterbalance your shaft and obviously take that head weight out. It's still going to be not, I mean, even if you put in, I mean, you got, what was that, 26 grams. That's a heck of it. Yeah, I wouldn't go that much, but stick a butt weight in the butt, yeah, and then funny should be Golfcraft. Yes, that's true. Yeah, they missed a trick on that one, didn't they? But yeah, that's what I would do, and see if that works. Because don't get rid of your Cobras yet, potentially. If you can get your grip off without busting your grip, then that's great, because obviously you can just pop it back on again. And then, especially if they can blow the grip off with airline, that's even better, because that means then you can do your test and then take it back out again if you don't want to. But it's just a case more than anything else of doing the test. Because again, the dollar taper 120 stiffs are good, because I'm sad and have swing weight scale every iron I've tested so far. I've hit the only, and I hit well, the only thing in common they have is static weight, swing weight, doesn't matter, seems to matter as normal. Okay, yes, I can remove it. Test it, butt weight it first. If you butt weight it, yeah, one, obviously you're going to bring it much, much closer to that of the PXG anyway, because whatever weight you put in the butt is going to make it even closer to the 26 grams that you need for static. Without, off the top of my head, I can't even remember exactly how it is, because obviously there's always a certain thing, like you add 3 grams to the head, you add 1 swing weight, you then add X amount to the shaft, the butt of the grip, and then you'll add a bit, it's more, and so you've got 26 grams. Test. Just, do you know what? Bang in 26 grams on the butt. Okay, what do you say? 20 grams of weight on butt will drop the swing weight to D0. There you go. Stick 20 grams on there, you're 6 grams off static, and then see how it works. After my heart attack, I removed a lot of butt weight. That's funny. Well done, Ted. That's very good. I like that. That's funny. Not the heart attack bit. I would like to say that before anyone starts like jumping on that. I was not making fun whatsoever. I thought what Ted was saying was funny. I didn't mean, you can't get the idea. I didn't mean in any way, shape or form that Ted physically having the heart attack was funny. I meant the fact that it was funny that he said he removed a lot of bum weight after having, yeah. Keep on digging, keep on digging. But 70-20-10 rule. I heard that. Somebody, because I find it interesting. Yeah. Now, I find it interesting, you see, because every single time because obviously I speak to many different people within the YouTube world and on media side of things as well, right? And when they ask me what I do, and I say not what I do, obviously no, but what do I do? How do I interact with my subscribers? How do I interact with people? And I'm honest, again, I tell them I interact exactly how I do now. I mean, I'm very much more personable, as in I try and get myself out there to people, as in I don't believe that there should be this, just because you're on the internet, just because you're a YouTuber, that everyone has to go, oh, it's Jay, wow, I saw you on YouTube. No, I'm a person. I'm a person like no one else, and so, or no one else like everyone else. And I don't believe in this, so it does come up. Aha, right, so I can make it bigger. There we go. It's just, what I've worked out now, that little beep thing is, Golf Addict's in the house. Hey, Golf Addict, how you doing? Hello, Jay, how the heck are you? Not bad whatsoever. Literally just, we're having a chat about media training. Not media trained, that's a good thing, by the way. No, so the conversation I've had many a time, and this is for media trained people from a point of view, not just media trained people, I'm talking people that train the people. So they are media training. Golf Addict is in the house. And they say, when it comes to increasing your revenue, increasing your scope, and increasing your reach on YouTube, for example, one of many things, no different to, or similar to Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff as well. They do the 70-20-10 rule. 70% of your stuff is your everyday content, all your normal content you put out there that people will watch and consume and stuff like that. 20% of that is different to what you normally do, but it's still professional stuff like that. And only 10% of the 100% that you put out there is anything to do with the personal you, showing a little bit of you being a human. Golf Addict says, the new Callaway IS Smoke line looks very interesting. It does look very interesting. The reviews will be coming. They'll be coming later because I've got so much to do and stuff like that. Triple Diamond driver, me likey. Golf Addict, you likey everything. And so I'm wondering how long it's going to be before there is a parcel being delivered. Well, it'll be a little while because obviously it's not at retail yet, but still, I'm waiting. But then I don't believe in the 70-20-10 rule. And again, it is true because I know what human personality, human psyche is like, and psychology is like. So there is, I know by giving so much of my own personal how I am, I humanize myself and I bring myself closer to you from a point of where you feel that it's more friendly, and because of such, the distance, there is no distance there, and so there's still, once you've got distance and you see someone up on a pedestal, you kind of like that. And I understand the idea from what they're trying to say. I just don't agree with it, and I know that affects and possibly will affect the growth of the channel and revenue and stuff like that. I do. But I don't necessarily agree with using human psychology to increase wealth, unless you're a psychologist, of which obviously you get paid to do it, but you kind of get my idea. Sounds like Golf Addict gets his media samples from PGA Pros like it. Yeah. Unfortunately, Golf Addict has a product issue, as in, can't control himself from buying product constantly. I mean, he just loves it, which is great. Golf Addict, control your impulses, close your eyes, breathe deeply for the next 2 months. Yes, that's a very good point, because obviously it's going to be a little while before they're out to point at retail, PAR, yeah. It's going to be a while before they are at retail anyway. I think it's a great idea. Anything that potentially brings down the retail cost of anything, I think is an amazing thing and should absolutely and utterly completely be adopted by every single manufacturer. I think going forward there should be two things that happen. There should be a race to the top when it comes to performance, but there should also be a race to the bottom on how cheap you can sell it. That is the true way. I'm not a great fan of the classic, well, we'll sell now everything at £1 billion. Well, when are we going to sell that? Only about 3 people are going to buy it. Yeah, but those 3 people only cost us 100 quid. But those 3 people are going to be doing what we need for profit margins for the entire year. Job done, don't worry about it. Well, that's great until the taps turn off. And then you're royally knackered. So I'm a great fan of economy of scale. Let's get, well, there you go, new Cleveland Launcher 2s are getting good reviews at £200, less than most of other brands. This is my point. Okay, Mark, whatever I haven't seen his review, and I hope he does club head data on there rather than just hitting it, because unfortunately Mark is in a unique situation with being branded, being contracted from Srixon Cleveland, not just choosing to wear, he is contracted through Srixon Cleveland. And so they pay him to say good things, effectively. But if he has head data, he gets paid, yeah, and they pay him to obviously say whatever they need to say. He knows that anyway. However, if it is that good, and if he does give head data, regardless if he gets paid or not, the fact that he's given head data proves that the golf club is doing what it does. If he doesn't give head data and it's going really, really far and stuff like that, and he basically just smacks it harder, Carl says nobody else does club head data. And I know why, because it's much bloody easier. It is. What will really ruin golf? The rat's nest that the pro game or the manufacturers rushing to raise prices through the roof? Ted, you and I can have a little chat about that, because that's a long, long conversation, that one. Or at least properly. Yeah, unfortunately, this is the problem, Carl. Rick, no different. I don't know any other manufacturer. I don't know any other YouTuber. Now, TXG or Club Champion, whatever it'll be, they do a certain amount of it. Second Swing, they do their robot testing or something or other. But again, from what I've seen of it, is not actually that good. It's not that comprehensive. So if they've got a robot, I'd bloody well have one. I tell you what, that would save me having to hit I don't know how many shots and knacker myself out. And so if I had access to a robot, I would stick every single shot and bits and pieces on the bloody robot, and I'd say, there you go, you can swing a golf club rather than me. I'm saving my body. Every single time I do these reviews, I'm hitting hundreds. The one that I've just done for 243, 245, I haven't done 241 yet. I've still got to do that. But the 243 and 245, the amount of shots that I hit on those data sets for 3 different swing speeds is mental. And my poor old screen, I'm gonna have to replace a screen soon. She's getting like a very focal point right in the middle where it's just getting absolutely pounded. It's done really well considering. I've got to give Carl's premium screen a bit of a well done. But there you go. But yeah, that's the reason why people don't do it, because it takes a lot of effort. It shows you up straight away. The 243 video that, again, I'm just finishing off editing today. I've done that. Well, basically I've done that. I've just got to do the numbers side, so I've got to edit it and then ready to go. But my strike, oh my God, I was having a shocker that day, but I put it in there. And because I give head data, every single shot was up there. But the good thing about that is, if you watch that video, you see that my strike and my delivery was a little bit off and stuff like that. However, look at within reason, look how well I still hit target. Well, you can't see that, but yeah, when it comes to it, the 243. As long as you manage your miss, and that's what I'm half decent at doing. I know full well that on good days, I'll be hitting very easily single digit misses, nothing more than double digits off the middle. Very rarely high on the face, if ever, but fractionally low, slightly heely, slightly toey, that kind of idea. But I'll be hitting good swing dynamics and ball's just going exactly where I want it to go, no problem whatsoever. I have bad days, or I have medium days where my strike will move, but my delivery is fairly good still, and the variation will get slightly bigger, but it's still fairly good. And then I'll have days like I did when I've done the 243. My delivery is not great and my strike is not great, but I'm still managing to try and hit target the best I can. And this is the thing when you don't use head data. If you don't use head data, you can just do what you want, say what you want. It makes no difference. You guys on camera, this is the thing, I can hear far better than the microphone picks up. And so I'm hitting shots in there. If I don't give you head data, you might think that's a half decent shot. I know, wow, that's terrible. But the guys down the lens won't know that. Well, you do when I put the head data on. Golf out 2 to 2.5 months till we're on the golf course. Hopefully you got the itch like crazy. I bet you have. I'm sorry I didn't like the 245 video. I'm doing my best to not buy another set of irons, but you're making it really difficult as they look so good. Yeah, don't buy another set of irons, Kyle. Yeah, don't buy another set of irons. Just don't buy another. You're fine, right? Just like the video. So 4 months here, Ted. Oh, yeah, that's not fun. I mean, it was snowing today. It was trying to snow outside today. Yep. Welcome to bloody winter. Can't stand it. Roll on the summertime. Roll on any time where it's not single digits outside. Terrible. Right. Well, that's impressive. Snow. Snow. Well, that's a lot. Yeah. Neil says, I lucky play 1 to 2 times per week indoors. Yes, you'd have thought I would, but I'm too busy. No, so. Golf Vet says, going to be minus 35 Celsius here in the next... Where the feck are you, Neptune? Jeez, me's. Minus 35. Crying out loud. Okay. That's cold. I mean, okay, I take that back now. I mean, it was like 2 degrees here today. Falcon, Canada. Jeez, man, that's cold. How does Golf Vet get products delivered to Antarctica? It's like, yeah. Wow. That's cold. Minus 35. Freeze your balls. Yeah, well, there you go. Oh, no, like Niels, I mean, you're in a cold environment at the moment. Minus 35. I went into a freezer once. Actually, no, to be fair, I went into a blast freezer and I also went into a freezer. So where they store, excuse me, not into your freezer, as in I didn't poke my head into my own freezer and go, oh, that's what minus 20 feels like. No, I went into a proper big open, and you walk into it, racking and stuff like that, and it's at minus, that's without wind chill, sharp. But I went into there and that was, they keep that about not minus 18, minus 20, something like that, minus 23. And that's cold. However, I did go into a blast freezer where you were only allowed in there with the fans on and stuff. You were only allowed in there for the very, very, very shortest of time. And when I came out, my trousers were like cardboard. I didn't realize that my trousers had moisture in them. But when you go into a blast freezer and it's at minus 50, minus 55, the fact that add wind chill and looking at minus 40 to 50, yeah, so that's gonna be cold, that it starts freezing your clothes. Bloody thing. Ted says 8 degrees, minus 8 degrees is my limit for playing practice outside. Minus 8 is your limit. 8 degrees would still be past my limit. Double digits and yes. but 8 degrees. I've done so much cold winter practice and play over the years, and when I look back at golf, I look at all the times that I was practicing and playing, and I cannot help, if I want to look back at a time where I enjoyed it and I've got these memories in my head of certain things, none of them are when they're freaking cold. None of them. But all of them when it's warmish or warmer or just not cold. And it's just not very nice. I don't like, yeah. Everyone's different, which is great. And if people like the cold, absolutely play in the cold. Everyone's got to. Well, not got to, but it's nice because if you do, you do. D, D, and D. Excuse me, D, D, and D. Go on, Carl. Even if you have to put stars in it, you have to explain that one. I'm waiting on Carl now. I want to explain what D, D, and D. Ah, nice. Double digits and dry. Yes, fair weather golfer, absolutely. Golfer at +6 is my limit, give or take. And then it's using a soft 2-layer ball. Callaway Super Soft or Strixon Soft Wheel. Mine minus 40 degrees centigrade equals minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Excuse me. It does. It is that wonderful weird point of where the old 2 thermostat ranges meet. Minus 40 and minus 40. Strange how that works. It is very, very, very cold. Sod that. I don't do cold. I hate this time of year. I really do not like this time of year. I've always said that manufacturers should release in the summer, not in the winter. So I have kind of agreed, in principle, the use of a local golf course in the coming 2024 for me to do some on-course content. So, I'll give everyone, have a week to think about it. What kind of stuff would you like me to do? Would you like me just to do the same normal course stuff? So I was thinking about changing the format slightly. So I was thinking, rather than doing the work or the live stuff in here, what I was thinking about doing would be like this, okay, without the coughing and stuff like that. It will be, hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel, and welcome to the MIZUNO ST7000X bomb ball driver. Yeah, that kind of idea, I don't know, be daft something. What we're going to do today is we're going to be looking at the technology and looks and feel and performance. I'll go on the golf course and have a look at how this one plays into a few holes and see how well it works. And then I will be going into the performance data where we understand how far it goes and also how forgiving it is. That kind of idea. I was going to do like the talking head kind of review where I will then talk about the technology, reference me on the golf course, you then see me hit shots on the golf course. Whether I do a very, very short segment of me talking on the golf course or you physically just sound, I know, just down the top of my head. As I said from the next, it's coming. Yeah, don't worry, it is coming. Remember skiing in Banff -20, had a full face mask with froze solid on the outside and screen instructor got frostbite on his cheek. Yeah, sod that. J. Oko, sorry. Okay, OCO. Oh, I'm terrible with these. I agree on spring. Yes, I do. Yes, and I'll take the quad out. And so, God dear me, just drive me insane being slightly unwell. And that's what I was thinking about doing. So I could change up the reviews a little bit. So I would do my talking head routine, reference the technology in the head, reference to different this and what the specifications is, etc. Then go out on the golf course as such, as in the case of, so I spent some time on the golf course at my local Flemington Golf Club, which is the golf club which I've agreed in principle. And then I'll do a very short segment on that 2-3 holes of hitting a drive, because obviously we're talking about driver, hitting drives, job done. And then go into the where it landed, and then hit him a second shot into a green or something like that. Yeah, something nice and easy. And then come back, talking head. Let's go see how it performed when I hit it in dry ball data into a screen. Again, I can then show screenshots of me hitting a few shots, and go see how well it performs out of the middle, and then also how well it performs when you whack it all around the face, and see when we miss hit, how well it does, that kind of idea. And then we'll go to the talking head numbers side of things. That is an idea that I've had. How it will truly work, I don't know. And how it would be liked, I don't know. That is why the only way I can actually do the scientific stuff that I continue to do. It means a boatload more work for me, because I've got to drive somewhere to set the cameras up to go do the stuff that I do in here anyway, and I haven't got to move. And so that's the thing. What Robert's saying on that on-course content would be great, plus a great plus to the channel. Yes, and it would. So I'm going to have to potentially, if I'm going to be including course content, I'm going to have to rethink how I do certain things because of the time frame. Already at the moment, it takes me about 1.5 days to do a video. That's best case scenario. 1.5 days. I've got a cough again. Excuse me. About 1.5 days to do a video. Best case. Sometimes 2. And when you're looking at certain things, it just takes a long time. Is it worthwhile? It will become much more worthwhile the bigger I get, the more views I get. Obviously, the more revenue I get from the physical reviews, it makes obviously more sense me doing YouTube full time rather than just going back and coaching and custom fitting. But you kind of get the idea. So personally, I don't think on-course testing is as important. I think a lot of people just want to see you play and enjoy yourself. Okay, so now that's a different idea. So if we are talking about Carl, if we're just talking about let's just leave the reviews are reviews. Leave them alone. They are fine as they are. They are engaging and insightful, but leave them alone. What we want to see is we want to see you out on the golf course. How do you play golf? I don't know, there's so many different things that possibly you want to see, but if that's the case, then that's a little bit easier, because that means potentially I can film a couple of videos on the same day, which means apart from editing side of things, I don't have to be driving backwards and forth like a feckin' yo-yo. Factual is what they are, mate. Is that the, when you say factual is what they are, mate, is that the, is that another word for boring? Well, they're very factual. They are very, very factual, yeah. Well, the bit that I was awake for anyway. GolfNut, it still boggles my mind that you don't have over 100,000 subs. You deserve 200,000, at least with all the work you do. Appreciate it great. GolfNut, thank you very, very much. Now that kind of stuff there is very, very kind, and I appreciate it greatly. I really do. Your current reviews, which your current reviews, which I like. Probably my fault rather than you, Kyle. I was about to say, there you go. So I'll keep the current review as it is. Obviously it works from a point of, it gets all the information. I struggle to try and get it condensed as small as I can do. But yeah, we'll do that. And then I'll add some on-course stuff. That kind of idea we can do. Maybe we can do some stuff leading on from stats to strokes, that kind of idea, which reminds me I need to do the other one. I've just been so busy getting the embargo stuff up and ready that I haven't had a chance to set the new question. New question is going to be fun though. Ice Tray 2468. He's doing well. He's at the moment, he's only 2 points ahead now. So I'm looking at ways to try and make sure, because I don't know who Ice Tray 2468 is. And so I'm trying to look at ways that I can mix the stats up a little bit. So if he's got some kind of avenue into working out, he might just be one incredibly clever individual. But I want to see if I can, yeah, for a bit of fun. But thank you very much, everybody. I do like that. But yeah, I agree. I still boggles my mind that I don't have over 200,000 subscribers. Hell, 100,000 would be fine. If I had, I reckon 50,000 subscribers, I reckon it may not be quite 50,000. If views go up at the same rate currently as what I got subscribers, then I could probably, it would make it would wipe its nose, I reckon, at 35,000. Have you ever been interested in tips and tricks videos? Betting man in me says you're not. Nope, because tips and tricks, there's only very few that actually work as a broad thing. There's a lot of tips and tricks, but it's very much for individual. So individuals do things massively individual, and the more the years I spent coaching, obviously just teaching people doing different things, different ways to get a result they wanted, you pick up a lot of the fact that, hang on a minute, well, there's a propensity for an individual to do this, and if I tell them to do that, well, that will fix them, but it only fixes this kind of people. Because if I do it again with that kind of people, it actually makes them worse. So they have to deliver it like that to gain that tip as a work. If you do it that, it gets them worse. However, the same premise is that if they're getting worse because they're doing that, well, that feeling makes them do something like that. So that means if I give that same feeling to someone else who needs more of that, that also can work. You can kind of you can already understand the way humans work, which is so unique that you can't make a book. There's no way you can make a book of this. It has to be done through experience and dealing with an individual. So it's one of those ones where there are very, very little tips and tricks generically over the broad spectrum of golfers that you can honestly say, by giving this out to someone, it will definitely help distinctly more people than hurt. And until I can give a tip or trick or say you must do this with the knowledge, the fact that I'm helping decidingly more than I'm ever hurting, I will never make it. It's the last PJ Tour tourney was crazy. All the 400-yard plus drives that there were a lot of bombs, weren't they? Yeah, but I mean, again, who did that? Was it Victor? Did he just pop out the longest drive? I can't remember how long it was. I don't know. It's environmental as well. Once saw you play around with senior member on a course. Really enjoyed that. There must be some good courses that you've. Once saw you play around with senior member on a course. Wasn't a senior member. Okay, we're lucky enough on the fact that obviously this is members only, so this is not out to everybody. Because just in case Dave was watching, of which he doesn't anyway, because he likes golf, but he's not really a golfer, if you know what I mean. He's not. He's about 3 years older than me. 4 years older than me. Yeah. There must be some good courses that you can visit. The course benefit from free advertising. Yes, you would exactly expect that one. However, there is a certain thing called the course professional. And the course professionals, generally speaking, do not like other pros at their course, especially with cameras and stuff like that, because it's in itself is a great advert for the pro with a camera. even though, because I've had this thing with my local golf course at Thetford, and I went in to see, I'm pretty certain I've told everyone this before anyway, but I went in to see the course manager to say, look, I'm a member here, can I just film? So when I'm doing my stuff, I'll just film for YouTube. I won't get in anyone else's way. I'll make sure I'm respectful for everybody. I just want to sort of film. People film anyway with their mobile phones and stuff. I just want to do it with a DSLR. And he was going, well, I don't think it's a problem, but I do think we need to speak to the pro. Why do we need to speak to the pro? Well, he's the course pro. And? I don't want him to come and hold the camera for me. I'm just like that. He goes, no, in case anyway. Cut long story short, he went, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Why is it not a good idea? Well, I don't think it's a good idea. What's stopping you from canvassing around for coaching? I won't say his name, but I'm busy enough. And I'm here to do a course vlog or some kind of content. I'm not here to try and poach your clients. So not being funny, but if you're worried about that, you should be far more worried about your own ability. You should be far more confident in your own ability, that the fact you're doing your job properly, that you shouldn't ever have to worry about other people coming to your place and stealing your clients. Really? That says it all. I mean, you need to work on your own level of, rather than worrying about me. That is commonplace. That's the problem. So what you'll find in golf, the pros, they do not help each other whatsoever. Very, very, in Bury St Edmunds anyway, where I am very, very close to, I've always said this, and it makes massive sense, the fact that if there's so many golfers within this very, very small location, and there are quite a few golf courses and stuff, and they all do, in the retail side, they all trying to compete against each other. They all do like similar brands, and you've got three golf courses very close that all do the same brands, and you think, what are you lot doing? Why don't you come together in a hub and you say, look, between all of us, we will stock every single brand. So we can give every single person within the Bury St Edmunds and, well, regional area of Bury St Edmunds the chance of being able to test any product they want from any manufacturer. It doesn't matter. And you can have that, you can have that, and then what we'll do, we'll all work together, and at the end of it, we'll all capture every single person. Now, for, let's say, Bury Golf Club, they do 62% of all the fittings out there, because obviously, I don't know, they're the busiest, they've got this, they've got that, they do more work or whatever, it doesn't matter. Then they get 62% of the profit. When it comes to the guys but no, what they end up doing, they end up nitpicking at each other, and they end up sort of going, oh, you don't want to go there because they're no good at doing this, no good at doing. Like, come on, work with each other. It's for the benefit of the golfers at the end of the day. Why not give them all the choice possible by working together and getting hold of every single brand possible? Because all brands are alike, but they all do things slightly differently. And so they're always going to be a brand out there which is going to suit one golfer more than the other because of just how they design their head slightly differently. What one person's bad driver is actually another person's like holy grail of what they need. No different to the old Mizuno golf ball. This old Mizuno golf ball, everyone used to say was rubbish because it spun too much. Well, it did. If you're a fast swing speed player, the old Mizuno golf ball was useless. Well, the old one, the previous model. But to a senior speed golfer who doesn't swing very fast, actually having a golf ball that spins a bit more, keeps the ball in the air, and actually works so much better. So the old Mizuno ball, to a lot of senior golfers, or at least slow swing speed golfers, ladies as well, were a godsend. But yeah. Your quick tip video would end up like a flowchart of this and then that or this, then your brain would explode and we'd never see the vid. That's probably true, yeah, we can go that way. Golfette said, Red Rooster golf clubs are friggin' amazing and comfy, made in Canada, my favourite club to date, and I've tried them all, just about. Mine says, I played Woodhall Spa there for before Christmas, seriously stunning golf course, would recommend, but a video speaks 1,000 words. It's very true, it does, yeah, on that one. Golfette, you are right, I use the synthetic ones for practice. Yeah, I need to get myself some more gloves at one point as well anyway. I need to make sure I keep on that one because obviously doing all the shots that I hit, I go through lots of gloves. Now my glove at the moment, well, I'll give you an idea. My glove at the moment is now due for replacing. I'll put my glove on so you can see. There you go. And that's because when I grip, where's my little area, like, say that, it sits on there, and that little bit rubs on the top of the grip constantly. It's through my fingers. Whoop. There you go, how it rubs. Just that top bit, always does. But yeah, that is ready to be dead, dying, killed off, like that. I've seen gloves though. I mean, that is definitely ready to die, yeah? I've seen gloves though, that people have got holes in them. Not holes that you should have, obviously, between here for aeration purposes, but physical just holes everywhere, that they're so bad. Yeah. Do they have any ones that are good for sweaty hands, or if you know any gloves good for sweaty hands? That's true. That's an interesting one. I've always, is it Mizuno Elite glove? Yeah, this one is the Mizuno Elite glove. So I've got, for this stuff that I do, because I go through so much, I use Mizuno Elite. When it comes to me playing though, I'll use the Mizuno Tour. Because, again, within reason, obviously the Tour golf gloves feel better, but they don't last as long. They're not as durable as the Elites. The Elite with the little pads on and stuff like that, they are just a bit better. I have about 10 to 12 different prices. Dear God. Right, guys, I'm gonna disappear now. It's now got on for 9:15. So if anyone else has got any other questions, I will very quickly. Oh, they're still having a chat. You can still have a chat. That's no worries. I'm just checking all my email. You are very welcome. There we go. Are we doing dodgy dealings? I like how people are just doing things between themselves. Oh, Moonpig. It's a UK card thing. Although saying that, we're gonna have to. You know what the next one's gonna be, don't you? Oh, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Oh man. Right. Neil says, night all, will not be here next week, so behave at Carlburn. Have a nice trip to Pinehurst. Ooh, really? Nice. Nice. Night, Niels. Thanks for everything, Jay. Have a great week. Well, no, well, it's a busy week, I can guarantee on that one. Cheers, all be safe and well. Cheers, night all. Say everyone's very, look at that, how nice people are. This is what I like about the AskGolfNut community, the Monday night clubhouse, or Monday clubhouse, because it's not Monday night everywhere, but you kind of get the idea. Right, guys, hope you enjoy the videos upcoming. But obviously busy week with the releases and everything else like that. So hope you like it, and you will do anyway, because, well, it's all techie. It's all about the tech. Right, guys, pleasure as always, and I will see everyone, well, probably later, but you know what I mean. Tomorrow will be the next upload. Hope you enjoy the Ping G430 Max 10K driver review coming. Yeah. Bye.